Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to Football Discussions. And today we are coming at you with a team mock draft. It's going to be 7 rounds of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, a couple things. I'm on the Draft Network. This trade simulator has been very glitchy. I've tried to film this video 3 or 4 times now. There was one time that I filmed it and 16 running backs went in a row. So I cannot promise you that, and there was another time where I got like Gregory Rousseau in the 3rd round for the Jaguars. So I cannot promise you that this is going to be realistic, but this is the easiest way for me to do it. Most mock draft simulators are like this. They're very temperamental, very glitchy. And then the other thing that's kind of cool about this one, and it gets annoying at times, but as we go through the draft, what's going to happen is our other teams are going to call us to trade up with us for our pick, or with some trade down opportunities if we want to move up in the draft. I'm probably not going to take many, if any at all, to make this as normal and as realistic as possible. But if there's an enticing offer and a good player on the board, I might move up if we get a trade back opportunity. Obviously, not going to even touch the first overall pick. That's Trevor Lawrence. I'll spoil that right now for you, but let's get into it. We'll go through this together. So we have selected the Jaguars. We're going to do a 7-round mock. I'm going to use their big board, mainly because my big board is only at 50 right now, and there's like 200 something picks in 7 rounds, so we'll run out of players pretty fast. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it doesn't act up this time, and we can get this underway. So already we have a trade offer. It's the Jets offering their 2 first rounds this year, a 2nd round this year, and a 4th round as well this year for our 2 first rounds. So never in a million years are we going to accept that, because Trevor Lawrence is on the board, and we're going to take Trevor Lawrence. And you can see I'll hit start draft on the left-hand side. You'll see some of the weird picks that are made, and I'll announce if I see anything funny. But this is computer generated. This is not me, so keep that in mind. As we hit start draft. So Zach Wilson goes to the Jets. That's not that bad. Jamar Chase to the Dolphins isn't bad. So it's actually been pretty solid. I think Jalen Waddle to the Bengals is a stretch. Penny Sewell falling to 8 is interesting. And the Vikings want to trade back with us. The problem with these trade offers is I can't see who's still on the board, and we're not getting, or we're giving up 2 forwards. So like, this is probably a good deal for the Jaguars, but again, I can't see who's on the board. So if Farley and Surtain are off, I'd rather just wait till 25 to pick a tackle rather than give up 2 of our 4s. So I'm going to decline this offer and then pause the draft real quick. So Caleb Farley was already off the board at that point. Patrick Surtain was already off the board at that point. Christian Darrisaw is still here, and Rashawn Slater was still there. So I think Slater, if you haven't seen my most recent mock, news came out that he's going to end up being a top 10 pick. So that might have been worth the trade up. But like I said, I'm not going to make any trades, and I'll make a deal with myself right now. Let's not trade in the 1st round. Maybe something interests us a little later on, and there's a 2nd round steal. We'll make that move. But this mock actually isn't going too bad so far. So we have an offer for this pick, 25. Saints giving us their 1st as well as a 4th. I'm not going to accept that. And a 1st and a 6th from the Bucks. So absolutely not on that one as well. So we'll just X out of both these trades and see who's available. So Zaven Collins is here. Gregory Rousseau is here. 2 interesting pieces. With the lack of Calais Campbell and after that trade, and they need some interior help, as Taven Bryan's going to be a free agent and hasn't really been worth that 1st-round pick. Gregory Rousseau being here is really intriguing to me. Jalen Mayfield's here. Alex Leatherwood is here. Liam Eichenberg is here. I think those are all players that the Jaguars can target here at 25. But I think I'm going to go Rousseau because of the fact that they need some interior help, and Rousseau has played defensive tackle at Miami in that 4-3 scheme. So he's super talented. He's super versatile. He can rush the passer from basically anywhere. So with the Jaguars already having Josh Allen and Caleb Von Chason on the edge, I think Gregory Rousseau can fit perfectly as an interior defensive line pass rusher on 2nd and 3rd down situations. I think that's a really, really good pickup for the Jaguars. Great value. Obviously, the opt-out and the lack of the combine are going to hurt Rousseau. If he has a good pro day, I think it could really help him. Obviously not a senior, so he won't be able to participate at the Senior Bowl, which is another thing that hurts, and so many limited opportunities for him this year. But 15.5 sacks on tape last year. He's a good player. At 25, I think it's great value, so I'm going to select Rousseau to the Jaguars, as there's still a lot of good tackles, and we only pick in 4 or 5 picks here. So Jalen Mayfield went, and we have an offer for this pick. It's the football team trading us their 2nd, a 4th, and a 5th. But I think Alex Leatherwood is still on the board, and he is. That's just too good to pass up on. I think after Slater and Penei Sewell, Leatherwood has the highest floor out of any tackle in this class. He's proved to be a really, really good starter at Alabama for 4 years now. He's played in all 4 seasons, has the most experience, is very, very good. And again, that high floor makes him a plug-and-play player and allows him to start right away. So with Cam Robinson being a free agent this year, even if they do re-sign him, you can either move him or Jawan Taylor on the inside to guard and put Alex Leatherwood at tackle. So I think this is great value. This has been a really good draft for the Jaguars so far. With that 46 pick, we'll see if we get some trade-up opportunities. I'm going to decline this one and then just pause the draft before... okay. I don't know if I want to accept it. I just want to see... I'm trying to pause the draft. Okay, yeah, there we go. So we'll see what corners are available because I think that's a need. I think safety's a need for the Jaguars as well. Tyson Campbell being here, I think would be good value. I think Shaun Wade to play in the nickel is also good. Sidney Jones also can play that nickel role. I think C.J. Henderson you got as your boundary guy. The Jaguars, the thing about their secondary, they need 2 safeties. So I'm probably leaning in that direction as I haven't seen either Trevon Moehrig or Javon Holland go. Yeah, they're both on the board here. So I think their biggest holes on defense are safety and that third corner spot. So I'm probably leaning safety right now, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to resume the draft. We'll pick at 46. We're not going to accept any trade back offers. No need to move up. I'm fine with taking either one of these safeties here at 46. But the thing I will tell you is I'm looking to trade up after I select the safety to get either Tyson Campbell or Shaun Wade or Paulson Adebo. I think either one of those is good value. But let's get Trevon Moehrig. I think he's a good talent. Javon Holland is also very good, so we have an opportunity to trade up here. We have 2 4s, so we're getting rid of a 3. So I don't necessarily want to do that. I'll see if a better offer rolls through as some of these corners start to go. This is just a 3 and a 4, plainly, and I think that's our second 4th, not our first 4th. I think I'm going to accept that offer just because of the fact that Tyson Campbell is still here. So we addressed 2 needs already in the secondary. Trevon Moehrig, Tyson Campbell got the third corner that the Jaguars need behind Sidney Jones as well as C.J. Henderson. You got a safety. You need both safety spots. So we addressed that in Trevon Moehrig. We got Alex Leatherwood, a plug-and-play tackle that can start right away and protect Trevor Lawrence. And he got Gregory Rousseau as well, someone that can play on that defensive line and just generate more pressure for this Jaguars defense that needs a counterpart to Josh Allen as Kayvon Chason is still in that developmental stage. So I think with Gregory Rousseau, with Kayvon Chason, with Josh Allen, this defensive line can get back to that 2018 Jaguars status. So we have an offer here to move up. I'm going to look over these offers. I'm going to pause the draft just to see who's available. I'm looking at wide receiver right now. De'Ami Brown intrigues me. I think getting a weapon for Trevor Lawrence could be good. This running back class is very deep on the back end. Guys like Jared Patterson excite me. Jamar Jefferson's a super fun talent. Chris Evans, we could all get later in the draft. Obviously, Chuba Hubbard's still here. Kenneth Gainwell. I'm not a big Trey Sermon guy. I know he exploded in the past few weeks, but I'm not the biggest fan of him. Kenneth Gainwell and Chuba Hubbard and Jared Patterson are probably my 3 remaining. Jared Patterson probably being my number 1 running back remaining. So if we can get him maybe in the 5th round, I think that would be great value. In the 4th, I don't know if we have 2 3s, so I think we're not picking again until the 4th unless we trade up. So with De'Ami Brown being here, I think that might be worth a trade up. I'm going to kind of see how this plays out, see what offers we get. We can move up using a 4th, a 7th, and a 5th next year. I want to hang on to that 4th. If we get like a 5th and maybe a 4th next year type of offer, I'll trade up. So this is just a 4th and 2 7s. Again, I want to hang on to that 4th because I think there's going to be good value there. A 4th and a 7th and a 7th. So we're getting a lot of these type of offers. We only pick in 15 picks. I don't see the need to move up. And the other thing that I can see the Jaguars doing here, I'm just going to keep declining. We'll pick again at 105, is going safety one more time. Hamza Nasir-Deline, I cannot pronounce that name, I think is good value. Richie Grant also, Paris Ford, great players. Caden Stearns is someone that I'm looking at later in the board that is definitely has a huge upside. Probably needs to develop a little more, but definitely a player that I could see us going later in the draft. If there's a good wide receiver here, I'm going to take it. The Jaguars, I know, have DJ Chark, and I know they have Laviska Shenault. I think it's always good to get a rookie quarterback as many weapons as possible. After Trevor, we've gone defense, offense, defense, defense. So I think it's smart to take a wide receiver here. Tylan Wallace is one of the most underrated players on this big board. I think he's a second or third round talent. So with him being here in the fourth round, I think that's just too good of a chance, or too good of a player to pass up on. So I'm going to take Tylan Wallace to the Jaguars, and now I'm looking for a trade up opportunity to snag a second safety here for the Jaguars, or perhaps a tight end, depending on what the tight end situation is. But there's some good tight ends in free agency this year. The Jaguars could get David Njoku. The Jaguars could get, I believe, O.J. Howard is a free agent this year. So there's going to be some good options in free agency for the Jaguars to address. So a fifth and a seventh here, I'm going to accept this and probably go safety to address that other safety spot for the Jaguars. We've picked quarterback, we've picked tackle, we've picked corner, we've picked one safety, and we got an edge / interior defensive lineman, as well as a wide receiver. So now I'm looking for another safety here for Jacksonville. They need another safety. Caden Stearns being on the board all the way down there. See, I don't know when we pick again is my only other concern. So I'm going to see. We're currently at 122, and the Jaguars don't pick again until 169. So that's 40 picks away, and Caden Stearns is 118. But Paris Ford being here, I think, is great value. He's 6 foot, 190, and, we got more of a strong safety, I would say. And who do we pick? Trayvon Moehrig, and now you can get a free safety type in Paris Ford. So I'm going to pick Paris Ford. We addressed the 2 safety spots. We got a tackle for the Jaguars to protect Trevor Lawrence. We got him a sick weapon in Tylan Wallace, who personally I think is better than Laviska Shenault, as well as got Gregory Rousseau for great value at 25. So 2 safeties and that third corner that the Jaguars need. So this has been a really good draft for the Jags so far. I like what we've done. I think Jaguars fans are only going to be mad about not getting a tight end if, Pat Freiermuth was available at 33 or even 45, which is 46. We could have gone that direction, but like I said, I think that the Jaguars have a boatload of money. They're going to spend it in various different ways this offseason, so it's going to be interesting to see what their draft strategy is when it comes draft time. But for right now, I think we've done a tremendous job in picking for the Jacksonville Jaguars here, as we're coming up on 169. Nice. I'm looking maybe Patty Fisher and Tough Portland being here excite me. I know they're more of just run stuffing guys, and this is like the exact same thing that the Jaguars did last year. I think they got Shaq Quarterman in the 5th round, so it would be like shades of 2020 draft, getting just a pure run stuffer. But Patty Fisher has been the leader of the Northwestern defense forever. Like, he's literally been there for, it feels like 5 years now. Jaret Patterson being here to get some depth behind, I'm blanking on the name now. James Robinson would be very exciting. I'm also looking in this cornerback class. They could use another lineman too, but I think if you get, who do we get? Leatherwood, as well as re-sign Cam Robinson or sign a guard this offseason, I think your line is set, because then you have Linder at center, Norwell at guard, Jawan Taylor at tackle or guard, Cam Robinson at tackle or guard, and then Leatherwood at tackle. So I think your offensive line is set if you get that. So no need to get another one. I think Jaret Patterson is just too good a value to pass up on. Jaguars, you never can have too many running backs, especially in the NFL, where it's really becoming a, backfield by committee type league. You really don't see any standout running backs aside from like the best of the best, and I would say like 5 or 6, maybe Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, obviously. Even Zeke is really becoming backfield by committee. You saw, what's his face? I'm blanking on that run. Tony Pollard get a bunch of carries as well this year. So, like, even one guy that was considered, like, the best of the best in the league at one point in Zeke, got carries taken away from him. So I think getting James Robinson some relief not only helps the Jaguars' offense, but helps James Robinson's career, right? Because you're taking carries away from him, which means you're extending his longevity in the league. So Jaret Patterson is a sick weapon for the Jaguars to get, especially in the 5th round. I think that's a great pickup. So, so far in this draft, I've only gotten starters for the Jaguars, except for Jaret Patterson, who's obviously going to be the backup. But Paris Ford, starter. Tylan Wallace, 3rd or 4th wide receiver, maybe even a second at one point in the season. So he's a starter. Tyson Campbell, your 3rd corner starter. Trayvon Moehrig, your other safety starter. Leatherwood, automatic tackle starter. Gregory Rousseau, automatic edge rusher / interior defensive line rusher starter. And Trevor Lawrence, obviously your starting quarterback. So this has been a great draft for the Jaguars so far. I really like what I've done for them. And now we can go just take a peek at the team needs. Corner, interior defensive lineman, and interior offensive lineman, I think are all good, points to get here in the 6th round. I'm just going to go to all. This might just be a best player available type pick because of the fact that it's the 6th round and we're just trying to get some value here. I'll see what some of these linebackers are available. Yeah, so Tuff Borland and Patty Fisher are both off the board. KJ Britt is another guy that's been in college football for like a very long time and has always just been like playing and starting on Auburn. So maybe that could be our. I think we have 2 7th round. This is our last pick. So let's just get a starter, or not a starter, but a player that we think can play at some point in the season. Torian Terry kind of fits that build, so I might go in that direction. Trayvon Grimes, I actually really like as well, and he's rated low. I would have him well above. I'm gonna take Trayvon Grimes. He's obviously Kadarius Toney and Kyle Pitts' counterpart in Florida. That's not who I meant to click on. Let's go here as the draft finishes out with the Eagles taking Mr. Irrelevant. I actually want to see who Mr. Irrelevant was. Let's see. Who was the last? Deion Jackson, the running back out of Duke, was Mr. Irrelevant. But let's look at our user picks here. And can I click on Trayvon Grimes? Yeah, I can. He's 6'4", jump ball type guy, 215 pounds. He's a good player. I like Trayvon Grimes. And he began his career at Ohio State. He transferred, found his home, settled in Gainesville, showing positive signs 2019, and he became a featured player this year. Yeah, so he was a starter. I think, personally, I have him way higher on my draft board than where the Draft Network has him. But, I mean, if you look at this draft class for the Jaguars that we just put together, I think it was very good. Got a bunch of good players, a bunch of starters. Up until 122, basically, we only picked starters. Traded up, lost some of the picks that we would have had later in the draft, but I think it was worth it for the players we got. I love that Tyson Campbell trade. I think that was well worth our value, getting that third corner that we needed, who for a guy that could potentially go in the 1st round, depending on how this corner class falls and how his pro day goes. So overall, terrific draft for the Jaguars. Jaguars fans, I hope you agree with me. I thought we did a very good job here, but let me know what you guys think in the comments, and take it easy, guys. Peace.